Genesis 33. I found this chapter very interesting. Now Jacob lifted his eyes and looked, and there Esau was coming, and with him were 400 men. So he divided the children among Leah and her children, Rachel and her children, and the two maidservants, Zilpah and Bilhah. And he put the maidservants and their children in front, Leah and her children behind, and Rachel and Joseph last. So Benjamin wasn't born yet. Verse 3, Then he crossed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted his eyes and saw the woman and the children and said, Who are these with you? So he said, The children whom God has graciously given your servant. Then the maidservants came near, they and their children, and bowed down. So let's say it was Zilpah, then it would have been Zilpah, Gad, and Asher, the 2 children, and then Bilhah, Dan, and Naphtali. And then Leah also came near with her children, and they bowed down. And so Leah would have come with Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun. And of course, if they had daughters, they would have brought their daughters with as well. Afterwards, Joseph and Rachel came near, and they bowed down. Verse 8, Then Esau said, What do you mean by all this company which I met? And he said, These are to find favor in your sight, my lord. But Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself. And Jacob said, No, please. If I have found favor in your sight, then receive my present from my hand, insomuch I have seen your face, as though I have seen the face of God, and you were pleased with me. So Jacob did so much to appease his brother Esau, because he didn't really know how he felt after all those years, after having taken the birthright and then the blessing. Verse 11, Please take my blessing that is brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. So he urged him, and he took it. Okay, so now he gave him the gifts. Then Esau says in verse 12, Let us take our journey, let us go, and I will go before you. And then this is Jacob's response. My Lord knows that the children are weak, and the flocks and herds which are nursing are with me, and if the men should drive them hard one day, all the flock will die. So there's a resistance that Jacob just doesn't want to go to Esau and everything's hunky-dory. There's a mistrust here. Please let my Lord go ahead before his servant, and I will lead on slowly at the pace which the livestock that go before me, and the children are able to endure, until I come to my Lord in Seir. And Esau said, Now let me leave with you some of the men who are with me. See, so now he's not going together. Now he wants to leave some of his men, which are strangers to these people. But Jacob said, What need is there? Let me find favor in your sight, my Lord. So then Esau returned that day on his way to Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, built himself a house, and made booths for the livestock. Therefore he called the name of the place Succoth, which is basically booths of Israel. Then Jacob came safely to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Paddan Aram, and he pitched his tent before the city. And he bought the parcel of land where he had pitched his tent from the children of Haman, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. Then he erected an altar there and called it El Elohe Israel, which literally means God, the God of Israel. So you can see this tension is still there, and I don't think that Jacob ever went to Esau in Seir. I think he stayed away from